discovered by Sir Samuel Curran in 1944 to determine the radioactivity of uranium. Now we will see the design and setup of the instrument. Okay, this is an imaginary diagram of scintillation counter. It consists the different components. This is scintillation chamber. This is a photomultiplier tube, resistor, amplifier, recorder. Means it consists 5 important components. One is scintillation chamber and another one is photomultiplier tube, resistor, amplifier, recorder. Okay, coming to the scintillation chamber, it is a metal tube. Okay, it consists mica window at one end and photo emitter at another end. Okay, coming to the scintillation chamber, it consists mica window at one end and photo emitter at another end, and it is coupled with photo multiplier tube. This photo multiplier tube is covered with lead collimator, and it also consists a series of diodes. See, it is designated as D1, D2, D3, D4, and so on. Okay, right. Next, it consists resistor, amplifier, recorder at another end of the photomultiplier tube. This is the design and setup of the instrument. Now we will see the procedure of measuring the radioactivity of the substances. See, first of all, the scintillation chamber is filled with the scintillators. Okay, and when we place a sample near the mica window, it emits the radiation. That radiation strikes the scintillator, so they go to the excited states and produce the electrons. When these electrons reaches the photoemitter, this photoemitter converts the electrons into the flash of light. Okay, once again listen carefully. When a sample is placed near the mica window, it emits the radiation. That radiation strikes the scintillator present in the chamber and they go to the excited states, produces the electrons. Those electrons when reach the photoemitter converted into the flash of light. Okay, now each and every diode receives the flash of light and reflects to the next diode. So as the flash of light passing from one diode to another diode, the photons gets multiplied in this tube. That is why this tube is named as photomultiplier tube. After reaching the last diode, the flash of light is passed to the resistor, where it is converted into the electric pulse. That electric pulse is amplified by the amplifier. Okay, and after reaching the last diode, the flash of light is passed to the resistor, where it is converted into the electric pulse. That electric pulse is amplified by the amplifier and recorded by the recorder. The recorded graph is compared with the standard graph. This it is drawn by plotting the electron pulses against known radioactivity of isotope. This is the process of measuring the radioactivity. Once again listen carefully. Okay, the scintillators are filled in the scintillation chamber. Then when the sample is placed near the mica window, the sample emits the radiation. That radiation strikes the scintillators present in the scintillation chamber and they go to the excited state and produces the electrons. And these electrons passes near to the photoemitter, converted into the flash of light. Okay, now each and every diode receives the flash of light and reflects towards the another diode. When this flash of light is passing from diode to diode, the photons are get multiplied, so that it is called as photomultiplier tube. After reaching the last diode, the flash of light is passed towards the resistor, where it is converted into the electric pulse. That electric pulse is amplified by the amplifier and recorded by the recorder, and the recorded graph is compared with the standard graph. This is the procedure of scintillation chamber. Now we'll see about the applications. It is used in radiotherapy. As we discussed in the last class, Geiger-Müller counter, it is also used in radiotherapy. Next, it is a very important application. It is used in border security, ports, flight terminals, and which is also used to monitor the nuclear waste when they are transporting from one place to another place. It is also used to measure the risk of radiation emitting materials during their transportation to other areas. You know, the adverse effect of radioactivity, so that while they are transporting from one place to the another place, they must and should check whether they are emitting the radiation or not. That is why to detect whether they are emitting the radiation or not, these scintillation chambers are used. These are the applications of scintillation chamber.